Hey, what's up guys? This is Mage, and today I will be bringing you a 2v2 random hero game from the Play Free For All 2v2 random hero tournament. Let's see. Yeah, no, clicking twice on it's not working. So here we go. In the bottom right corner we have Atheist, and then to the left of him we have AJK. I know that they are a normal 2v2 team. I don't know a whole lot about them, although Atheist did play in the ESL Solo Cup yesterday. And then we have Miker against Abver, and really all I know about these two players is that they are infamous Russian streamers. They pull in huge numbers when they do stream, and they've been playing a little bit on the Play Free For All bot recently. Well, I know Abver is actually a very good Warcraft 3 gamer, as well as Hearthstone and a lot of other ones. I don't know all that much about Miker, would be probably more accurate. And for those of you unfamiliar with the concept of 2v2 random heroes, it is pretty simple. It just means that when you get your altar up, you get a completely random hero out of it. It can be any race or tavern, and you can get up to 2 of the same hero. So theoretically, you can have 2 Mountain Kings, 2 Shadow Hunters, 2 Tauren Chieftain, and it can create some really hilarious and probably imbalanced matchups there. So we'll start with Miker. He is going for a pretty typical Ancient of War creeping pattern here. He's got a hero up and on its way out as we speak, and he's going to go ahead and try to get down that expansion early on. Probably try to get his expansion very quickly, and we do see 2 scouts coming out here for Miker as well. And then Abver here is going for the typical footman opening, and I wouldn't be surprised to see if they both go for an early expansion, honestly. Atheist is going for a footman build as well. And AJK looks like he will be Ancient of War creeping as well, so very even overall early on. AJK has a little bit of advantage with the Archer coming out sooner rather than later. And no, they are not going to go for an Ancient of War inside of the base, which would have been amusing to say the least. So let's see who will be the first person to get a hero out. It looks like it will probably be Atheist, with Miker not far behind him. So here we go, Firelord for Atheist, a Alchemist, nice, for Miker, and a Demon Hunter for AJK, so that could be a huge break in this game, since if you get a hero that combines well with your army naturally, that's really going to be very important. So Demon Hunter first is pretty much as good as AJK could have hoped for, and Abver grabs a Warden to top it off. So we are doing a... Okay, so Ancient of War creeping without an Archer, actually, for Miker here. AJK should be the first one to finish off his creep camp, although Atheist will be not far behind him with that Militia creeping and the Fire Lord. And then the Militia creeping with the Warden should bring this down pretty quickly as well. +6 claws for the Warden, good item there. We do see a +6 claws for the Fire Lord as well. Not quite as helpful for him, but could pass it off to the Demon Hunter. Demon Hunter gets the circlet, and then the last person to finish up here will be Miker, and he is running pretty close, actually. Okay. Will not get his Ancient of War taken down, most likely, although it was a close thing there for a little while. Looks like both of our human players will have their expansions going up momentarily, although Atheist does not have nearly enough for the expansion to be put up yet. And for that matter, neither does Abver, although he is a little bit closer. And we do see AJK coming in here to do some harassment damage. It looks like Miker trying to switch over to a dual Ancient of War Huntress build. We'll see what he's able to do to prevent this. Looks like that Ancient of War, at least, will be going down. And Alchemist versus Demon Hunter will be interesting, to say the least. His third Moonwell is going to be taken down, but the bright side of this is that he is not going to be food blocked yet, regardless. We do see that Abver coming in here to do some harassment damage with the Warden, and that is going to be able to do a ton of damage. Arcane Tower up just in time. But Atheist will not be able to use those to get his expansion up. Does finally have the resources for it, pretty much. And we can see that Atheist doing the exact same thing right back at Abver. And there are a bunch of peasants that are going to go down here as well. And Abver has actually called out his full militia right now from the wood to try and pull off a surround. So he's going to be hurt pretty bad economically, whereas Atheist still has most of his peasants in his base, although he was looking pretty low before that. We can check out how the Demon Hunter is faring against the Alchemist, and the Alchemist not given enough credit for the amount of damage per second it does ordinarily. Demon Hunter forced to retreat there a little bit, but Miker is still being hit by a bunch of units. He does have his first Huntress come out here. He's a little bit behind in the tech order. Down at the bottom, we will see this Arcane Tower go down, so atheistP will not be able to put up an expansion, and what started off as a looking like all 4 players would get their expansions up early, looks like will not be happening now. Instead, it will be only AJK and Miker that get their expansions, although Miker has not actually decided to go for an expansion yet. Instead, deciding to put his Ancient of War down in the expansion slot so he could double produce the Huntresses. And Atheist continue to do quite a bit of damage, forced to call full militia, Abver is, and if he's not careful, these are going to be taken down momentarily when they go back to peasant form, because almost all of them are running out of militia time, and he could have a lot of these peasants go down, and he is not yet teching, so he will be able to reproduce them. But still, that's going to slow down the tech quite a bit. And let's see how our other contestants are doing with the tech. So we have a almost completed tech for AJK, and Keep is about a third of the way up there for atheistP. He is forced to come back here. We do have a Warden hiding, and looks like he'll be able to do quite a bit of damage to those peasants. AJK and Mike are continuing to do some Huntress damage to each other. Really not a whole lot that will be accomplished here, and the advantage really could go to AJK because he will have that expansion up before too long. atheistP, meanwhile, trying to take down at least a couple of the footmen with the militia, but he is really bringing those back quite a ways, and Abver has to be very careful with that Warden. It may be forced to TP out. We'll see how much health it is able to regenerate before daylight comes about. Miker retreating his Alchemist here, and let's see what TP's in. That should be the Warden. So Warden will heal up here, but that means that the Moonwells cannot be used for Miker's units. And because he just has the Warden, he has left pretty much all of his army in the base to defend against atheistP. And Atheist doing a nice job here of just forcing him to call to arms a lot. Arcane Tower does a lot of damage to summons, obviously, but the Lava Spawn gets at least one of the militia before it dies here. And does not look like we're going to have any creeping. There we go. Somebody does wake up the creep camp, and AJK is going to be the one that suffers for that, getting his Demon Hunter hit here. AJK's units are actually in the Fountain of Health, however, and will be interesting to see if AJK tries to pull off a creep check here, because if not, daytime is going to be around the corner, and that means he's going to be seen regardless. Miker has two very low Huntresses here, and we'll see if any of them goes down. One does, at least. On the other hand, AJK's Demon Hunter is looking very low, but Abver's Warden is looking low as well. Nice job using the Footman there to block it off. No surround pulled off, but it does save the Warden for sure. And this is just a bit of pure chaos in the Fountain of Health right now. Only player missing is Atheist, who is currently doing some damage to the base of Abver. And it looks like the creep camp loses a Footman to the creeps right now, so we do have the first second hero to come out is a Crypt Lord, and Impale, nice job for stun, should prevent the Demon Hunter from getting killed here. And atheistP continuing to just do a lot of damage in Abver's base. I'm curious if he realizes just how bad it is. Obviously he is, since he does call to arms right there. But this will mean that the red creep camp in the middle will go to Team Russia over here, and Abver forced to retreat and walk back to his base to try and take him out. He does have a Book of the Dead, so that will help take out what atheistP has in his base. Otherwise, he would have to be a little bit worried about not being able to fight him off. So a timely item for him, and actually we do see atheistP out there, decides not to engage in the fight. So we've got one up and running expansion, and that is the only expansion that's up and running at this point. So AJK has a pretty big advantage here because he is tier 2. He has 2 of his heroes out already, and he has the expansion up and running. Atheist, meanwhile, has almost crippled Abver's production right now. He is still tier 1, and Miker has gone for tier 2 now, but that's going to be quite a ways behind his counterpart, the other Night Elf player, AJK. So let's check out on their resources. He is capped at 50, or capped at 60, but sitting at 50, 400 and 300. Let's see. Atheist is, he does have his keep up, so he will be producing his second hero before too long. And AJK going and doing some harassment damage to Miker. If this Moonwell goes down, then that could be problematic for him, to say the least. We do have a Tree of Life going up for him now, and it looks like they can continue to use these split hits here. So atheistP managed to grab a Tinker as a second hero, which is a perfect complement to the Fire Lord for doing some harassment damage. Interesting to see if AJK is going to TP in here. So yes, he is. He is going to try to take down Abver. Abver is food locked at 20 food, by the way. Double TP coming in here to try and fight off both of these players. I think that the advantage right now definitely goes to AJK and atheistP. We'll see if that continues, but we do have the summon from Abver, and that will do a lot of damage. And there we go, the Fire Lord does go down, so that's huge for Team Russia right now. Alchemist is almost level 4 as well, and that looks like that's what they're going to be focusing down right now. We do have the Crypt Lord, should have enough for one more Impale momentarily, and we'll see if the Alchemist is brought down. Ancient of War uprooted to help out on that one, and TP's out. Perfect TP pass there, and we do see Abver going to retreat as well. So able to successfully fend it off, but the Fire Lord did go down in the process, and Tier 3 almost complete for AJK, so continuing to do a bunch of damage via harassment, and as long as the tech upgrades continue to stay in the favor for Atheist and AJK, then I think that this game is going to go very favorably for them, fighting off Huntresses and Footmen when you have Sorceresses, Dryads, Bears, etc. Certainly going to be a fight that you want to take. Okay, so thank you for the upgrade. The first game was actually won by AJK and Atheist, so this is game 2, and if AJK and Atheist win, that means it will be game series over. So we'll go ahead and add +1 there. There we go. Should be updated to reflect it now. Okay, well, Pureby is up, so we're going to go ahead and bring him in for the next cast, which will make it much more entertaining. And we can see Abver is going ahead and trying to just grab a few more creep camps here. Try to get that Warden to level 5 as quickly as possible so you can see how much damage it does. Atheist does get his Tinker up to level 2. And there we go. We do have the expansion for Miker up and running now. Just needs to get the gold mine finished being entangled. Miker's Alchemist is going to be pretty close to level 5 before too long as well. And we do have both of our red camps left in play, which could be very, very problematic depending on who gets it. But looks like Avarice can go ahead and keep creeping, and we are going to have AJK push into Miker's base right now. Miker having issues with Moonwells. He does have 3 Ancient Allures going up as we speak, and it looks like Abver may be feeding Miker right now. It's a little hard to tell. I'm not sure if those 3 are because he has the expansion, or if the reason Miker is still 1 is because he has been feeding, or sorry, the reason Abver is still 1 is he is planning on feeding Miker to help produce from 3 Ancients of Lore. And here we go, AJK going for the haul here. He is going to have to be, oh, there's no TP for either of our players right now. So if they are not careful, Miker could lose this main. It looks like coming right in time though. And now AJK getting flanked from behind. But it looks like he is pot committed taking down this Tree of Eternity, and that is going to be huge right now. TP's out, so nice play by AJK to take down that Tree of Eternity, and now both players effectively Tier 1. We can get some Dryads mass-produced, but there will be no Master Bears. Atheist being allowed to free camp here, essentially, and you gotta think he's going to be putting up an expansion before too long. He does have the resources for it, or will soon, and we're going to see a level 3 Tinker when he finishes off this creep camp, and now we are going to have both players try to hit AJK, so if he is in the middle of the creep, this could be bad news for Atheist. And they're going for the expansion. It'll be interesting to see if they let the expansion die, or if they continue to TP to it and try to save it. So we can see that they have now scattered out here and take down the Ancient War, which did quite a bit of damage to them before. So let's see. Looks like they are deciding upon it. There we go, TP coming from both of them. We do have level 3 on the Tinker, and how will this work out? There we go. So TP's right into the middle of the army for both of them right now. Roar does go off. There's Dryads have some dispel, but not enough. And a huge acid bomb from that Alchemist. On the other hand, the Alchemist is going to go down there. The Fire Lord looking very low as well, but it does have a Hellstone that it can pop to get itself back up. And Abver does go ahead and use a mana potion. Breaker's a huge, huge play here. So there we go, that's GG, and game 2 of this series has been decided. It will be Atheist and AJK advancing to round 2, so good game and well played by both of our teams. And we shall see them again soon, I'm sure. So for those of you watching this on YouTube, we will have more games from the tournament coming up before too long. Make sure to go ahead and subscribe to us here. For those of you on Twitch, we'll get our second game started before too long. And we've got Pureby.